Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we are making okro soup. Yes, very slimy, oilless okro soup. Yes, and this recipe can be enjoyed with any swallow of choice, be it banku, be it kenkey, and even eba. Yes, and today we are enjoying ours with some kenkey here. See how slimy our okro is? That is what we're going to showcase in this recipe for you to also follow the same procedure and make your okro very slimy. You would need a scissors to cut this okro, but hey, let's get started. So for this recipe you need your curd fish, that is the momone, and of course you need baking soda. That's what it's going to make it a bit slimy. You need pepper, you need your spices, we need some tomatoes, onion, garlic, some fish, and of course you need your okro. Yes, and you need protein. We're using some wele and chicken, and we've already cut our okro and our ayoyo leaves, that's our jute leaves. And one tip to also make it a bit slimy, I actually lost that video, so let me just put it in there. Once you grate your okro or you cut up your okro, you have to put it in the pestle and mortar and pound it a bit. That is what is going to give it that slimy texture. Yes, before adding your baking soda to it, you need to pound it in the pestle and mortar to give it that thick and slimy texture. So of course we go ahead and start up by cooking our okro. We added the baking soda to it, so we're cooking our okro. See how thick and slimy it actually looked before it's cooked. That's because after cutting, we actually pounded it in our pestle and mortar. Yes, so that's just by the way. So we're doing this to make it a bit loose. So before it's even cooked, you can tell how slimy our okro soup is going to be. So we start the process of making the stew by cooking up our protein, and you can actually spice it with any spices of choice. So we're using onga stew, ginger, garlic powder, some onga classics, and a stock cube of Maggi, and we add in some powdered pepper just for the heat. We want the kick in there, so hey, it's optional, you can take that out as well. And we added a bit of salt to taste. So you stir it and let the protein cook in its own juices. And mind you, please, you can use any protein of choice. You are not limited to what we are using in our video here. So if you have meat, if you have pork, you can actually use that, but we are using chicken in our soup today. So once your okro is ready, you set it aside. Just look at how slimy it is. So our protein is still cooking. So at this point, if once it has cooked in its own juices, we add a bit of water to cook it a little bit, because the meat, the chicken is a bit tough. So It needs a bit of water to cook before it can actually become a bit soft. So we go ahead and start up our okro sauce by adding our blended pepper mixture, our momone, and our onions. Yes, the pepper mixture consists of the green pepper, that's the habanero pepper, the green pepper, the onions, garlic, and ginger. Yes. So we've added a bit of fish to it, the smoked salmon to it as well. It's just for flavor, and we actually love fish in our house, so we have to have fish in there, but it is optional. You can choose to leave the smoked fish out. So at this point, you need to add your spices to the pepper mixture you're starting. And of course, you're not limited to just the spices we are using. You can choose to use any spices you are comfortable with, because you are making it your own recipe. Even though you are following our processes, it's still going to be your recipe at the end of the day. So yeah, so we go ahead and add the stock from our chicken, our meat. Then we go in with some tomatoes. As I always say, people say that tomato makes the okro soup not slimy, but I choose to differ from that opinion. I believe that okro stew without the tomato makes it not nice. So I always like to add tomato to my okro soup. And of course, I always end up getting that slimy texture I want. So I don't think you should leave tomatoes out of your okra soup. Yeah. So of course, we've added our chicken at this point because we need the flavor from the pepper mixture we've done here so far to be on our meat as well. So more of the fish is added to the okra soup. So at this point, you let the soup simmer till it reduces in the size, the water reduces in the pepper mixture. Then you go ahead and add your cooked okra into the mixture. So at this point, you continue to stir and make sure that it mixes very well with the pepper. So guys, if you've been to this point, you've watched to this point and you're not subscribed, kindly subscribe to our channel. Hit on the notification button to get notified anytime we post new and exciting recipe. And if you're an old subscriber, as we always say, thank you for sticking with us. We love you. Continue watching our videos. Yes, so at this point, once your okra combines well with it, you check to see if your salt and your seasonings are of the right proportions. If not, you can always adjust it to your taste. Yes, so we didn't like that level, so we added a bit of salt and more of the spices to our okra soup. And guys, this is what we came up with at the end of the day. See how slimy our okra is, and guys, trust me, the taste is I can't begin to tell you how it tastes like. You need to try this recipe for yourself and you'll be amazed at how nice this recipe is and how slimy this okra soup actually is. At some point I needed I needed to take my time because it was that slimy. From just the video here, you can tell that this okra is going to pop. And as a Ghanaian, I always like to add I always like to add 1 egg to my sauce. So hey, you gotta love Ghanaians. So we are pairing ours here with a bowl of kenkey, one of my to-go foods, yeah. A bowl of kenkey, and this is what we came up with at the end of the day. A very slimy, oilless okra soup that takes no time to make and can be enjoyed with any swallow of choice. And of course, the food was very hot because of how nice it is. I couldn't wait for it to cool down. I had to dig in, but it was really good and was hot. So at the end of the day, this is what we have, and hope you'll be giving this recipe a try and let us know how yours went, and like, comment and share for more recipes till we come your way another time with a new and exciting recipe. Thank you for watching. Bye.